and welcome to our nightly news. These are the headlines. Representing the President of the Republic, Prime Minister Nadil Al-Arabawi chaired an honorary ceremony marking the International Women's Day in honor of the Algerian women. Algerian women celebrate International Women's Day in a spirit of determination and victory, honoring the struggles of valiant resistance figures, fighters, and we highlight a remarkable woman who broke stereotypes in agriculture and livestock breeding. The memory of one of the darkest chapters of French colonization remains vivid. The secret army organization responsible for numerous crimes against the Algerian population is now being glorified by the French far-right. In Morocco, the distribution of Ramadan aid is facing backlash, with citizens blaming the Makhzen of diverting assistance meant for those in need. Protests erupted, denouncing the unjust and corrupt system. And public television launches the 14th edition of Taj al-Quran competition. This annual Ramadan event features 24 contestants representing different provinces. Welcome back, everyone. Representing the President of the Republic, Prime Minister Nadil Al-Arabawi chaired an honorary ceremony on Saturday, marking the International Women's Day in honor of the Algerian women. The event was held under the motto "The Algerian Women, Challenges and Victories" and was attended by the Minister of National Solidarity, Family and Women's Affairs, Soria Moulouji, members and high state figures of the government, in addition to war veterans and remarkable female figures. On this occasion, the PM honored several distinguished and talented women for their achievements in various sectors, including the PNA, culture, media, arts, rural women, higher education, arts and heritage, as well as entrepreneurship, confirming the President's deep-seated dedication to elevating the role of women and solidifying their achievements in society. As being mentioned earlier in the headlines, we turn our focus now on this occasion to a remarkable woman breaking stereotypes and making an impact in a very demanding and traditionally male-dominated field. Suhila is a farmer who manages her farm with expertise, paving the way for other women to participate in agriculture.
Far from the tumult of the city, in the vast green plains of the countryside, a dedicated woman devotes her life to raising dairy cows, each task carried out with care and precision. Every gesture reflects her deep attachment to this centuries-old profession, and beyond her passion for breeding, she sees her work as a true mission to promote agricultural labor among women and contribute to the development of the rural world.
When I
moved here, I noticed that everyone in the village owned cows, and that really appealed to me. That's how the idea of going into animal husbandry came to my mind. I contacted the National Commission for the Commercial Development, and I presented my project. However, I needed a training certificate to attest to my skills, and with the support of God, it made my project a reality. Livestock farming is a true vocation passed down from the mother to her son. From a very young age, he has observed her expertise, joining her in daily tasks and learning the trade. Inspired by her dedication, he pursued training in the livestock farming, combining theory with the skills inherited from his mother. His journey proves that a love for the land and livestock can be passed down through the generations.
I admire this profession and I'd like to follow my mother's steps once I graduate and invest in this sector. The vocational training sector is being strengthened with entrepreneurial development centers that support young people from the initial ID to the creation of their projects, alongside a dedicated structure that ensures personalized follow-up at every stage of the process, thus fostering the success of entrepreneurial initiatives.
Suhila, thriving in agriculture, is a shining example of the Algerian women mastering their craft across diverse fields, weaving success with dedication and skill.
We begin this segment with a symbol of colonial violence. The secret army organization left a lasting stain on history. Decades after Algeria's independence, the French far right is driven by a dangerous nostalgia that threatens to destabilize the republic. Mirsalila Balaman explains.
History will forever remember the barbarity of French colonialism in Algeria, which claimed the lives of 1.5 million martyrs. Yet, the ghost of the OAS, or secret army organization, continues to haunt the French far right. Once responsible for burning villages with napalm, the OAS left behind a toxic legacy, one that still lingers today in the rhetoric of the far right, particularly in its attitude towards sovereign Algeria.
The villages there had been bombed by the French army, and indeed we witnessed scenes of violence and horror. Women, children burned, killed by shells, by napalm bombings. Napalm is horrific.
Brûlés, tués par les obus, par le bombardement au napalm. Le bombardement au napalm, c'est quelque chose d'horrible.
Et tous les matins, et tous les soirs,
every morning, every evening, planes loaded with bombs with special napalm canisters will go out to bomb and set fire as soon as someone was spotted moving. We didn't call it napalm, we called it the special canisters. The bombs wiped out everything, everyone was dead. It was absolutely dreadful. Nothing remained, only blackened ruins.
C'est absolument effroyable. Il ne reste plus rien, que du noir.
The nostalgia for colonial era and its bloody history has fueled increasingly radical rhetoric, leading to an alarming political shift.
It is a tradition within the French far right that has never been able to accept that Algeria won its independence rather than being granted it. Algeria carried out a revolution in 1962, took its independence and said no to France. What strikes me the most in light of these media debates is that today hatred of Algerian Algerians serves as an electoral springboard for politicians lacking imagination.
The OAS remains a dark stain on France's history. Today, its ideological heirs are climbing to the highest levels of power, threatening to push the Fifth Republic towards a dangerous and uncertain future.
And the Moroccans are still protesting, this time against corruption and injustice in Ramadan aid distribution, leaving the most vulnerable and those in need struggling to survive. نجح طيار.
ليش خليت هذا؟ عاد يا بنتو كيبرك فيها بوحده، كل عام كيجيب لي الورقه، هاد العام ما عطاهاش شي واحد. خلي السيدة تتكلم، خلي السيدة. ولا علاش شنو السبب هاد السيد؟ عمرها شركة جاي كيبكي عليا البارح انا بنتو. علاش ما ياخذهاش؟ عايش بوحده. طيب شوف حالتي دايره، خرجوا معايا شوفوا حالتي، الا ما كنت مستحق ناخذها ما ناخذهاش. ما عنديش. عندي الله العادي يبولك عندي راه ما فيها انا ما عنديش
And these are the Moroccan citizens left without the Ramadan aid. They have gathered today to voice their distress and protest. Their demand is simple, the right to secure enough resources to meet their needs for the upcoming weeks of the blessed month.
We live in precarious conditions. These lists have been falsified. Conditions have changed in recent times. Before, you had to register on a list to benefit from the Ramadan ration. But the authorities have changed the procedures.
These citizens strongly feel the inequality in distribution, accusing favoritism, bribery and manipulation. Meanwhile, the most destitute are left behind, struggling to survive amid poverty and marginalization.
We're marginalized because we can't give bribes. To have the right to foodstuffs, we live in need and precariousness. Even people with special needs didn't get their foodstuff aid. It's terrible what's happening here.
This intolerable situation once again highlights the deep crisis in Morocco, a country plagued by corruption and widespread inequality.
Still with the Makhzen regime, which intensifies its repression, international support for the Sahrawi cause continues to grow. Amid global solidarity, Sahrawi women marked International Women's Day, honoring their people's resilience in defending their land. More with Mirsalila Balaman.
At the Sahrawi Women's Union headquarters, in the presence of President Ibrahim Ghali and international solidarity activists, celebrations began for International Women's Day and the first Martyrs' Anniversary. The event highlighted support for Sahrawi women's resilience and their key role in state building. Their impact is clear in the widespread support for their cause.
On this International Women's Day, we are supporting the Sahrawi women's cause in getting their rights back, as well as their people in their fight for the right to self-determination. The Sahrawi woman was and is still the foundation of the Sahrawi community and has a key role in their fight for freedom.
Y un pilar fundamental para el movimiento de liberación.
On this 8th of March, we're here to help and support the Sahrawi women who are considered heroes in this day and age, so they can claim their space in public life and play a key role in decision-making within the Sahrawi community.
Pueblo saharaui.
The occasion was an opportunity to announce the launch of the 6th movement by the delegation of the International Women's March.
So I am here today to show solidarity with the women of Western Sahara, and as peace lovers, as human rights defenders, we are here to show solidarity.
We commemorate both the anniversary of the first martyrs' fall and the International Women's Day, joined by influential women who stand in solidarity with the Sahrawi women, sharing their sacrifices and struggle against the brutal Moroccan occupier.
Sahrawi women remain at the forefront of the struggle in refugee camps and occupied territories, standing resolutely alongside their brothers in the fight for independence and freedom.
In other news, the funeral of the journalist Mohamed Lamsan was held this afternoon at Ain Binyan Cemetery in Algiers. He passed away on Friday at the age of 47 after a long battle with illness. The ceremony was attended by the President's advisor in charge of the Director General of Communication, Kama Sidi Said, the Minister of Communication, Mohamed Mizian, and the Director General of the EPTV, alongside the late journalist family and colleagues from the media sector. And the National Independent Authority for Election has announced that the voting in the March 9th partial Senate elections is mandatory, except in cases of force majeure. This follows the provisions of Ordinance number 2101 of March 10, 2021 on the electoral system, in particular Article 218, as well as Decision number 127 of March 2, 2025, outlining voting procedures. Polling stations will open at 8 a.m. and close at 5 p.m., with voting taking place at the headquarters of local assemblies. The Election Authority urged all voters to adhere to the established procedures for Election Day and uphold the principles, ethics for political and electoral practices to ensure a transparent and credible process. Algeria's permanent representative to the UN, speaking on behalf of the A3+ group, African group, during the UNSC session on chemical disarmament in Syria, called on all parties to respect Syria's territorial integrity and sovereignty. He also emphasized the need for firm commitment to achieving all the objectives of the Chemical Weapons Convention. Let's hear from Ammar bin Jama.
We reaffirm our unwavering commitment in favor of achieving all the objectives of the Chemical Weapons Convention and underline the importance of all states parties to continue to ensure the full, effective and non-discriminatory implementation of the Convention, while bearing in mind that the threat or the use of chemical weapons remains relevant in the international area. The A3+ reiterates its firm belief that the use of chemical weapons anywhere by anyone and under any circumstances must be condemned. In this regard, the A3+ calls upon all actors to respect and uphold Syria's unity, independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity.
Secretary of State now for National Community of Rights, Sufyan Shaib, took part in the emergency session of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation's Council of Foreign Ministers. The meeting focused on the Zionist aggression against the Palestinian people and plans for annexation and forced displacement. Shaib stressed Algeria's firm stance on the importance of Islamic unity and the need for maximum efforts to defend the Palestinian cause. He emphasized that the unity of Islamic nations remains a vital source of strength for the Palestinian people. The 14th edition of the Taj al-Quran competition commenced with its inaugural prime, a remarkable event that brought together 24 exceptional candidates. The event was held in the presence of the Speaker of the People's National Assembly, ministers, the Rector of Jama' al-Jazair, the advisor of the President of the Republic in charge of the General Directorate of Communication, as well as several scholars and imams. Melissa Kepash.
In a highly spiritual atmosphere, 24 exceptional candidates hailing from diverse provinces across the country will compete to showcase their profound dedication and demonstrate their mastery in Quranic recitation in front of a jury that will choose the 40th edition's winner.
We gave our best to win. May God encourage me and the other participants. There are many competitors each time. We try to improve our level. The competition is tight. The candidates have a high level. We took into consideration their reciting or tajweed rules and the quality of recitation, as well as other aspects to evaluate their performance.
الأحكام القرآنية والشق الثاني كان متعلق بحسن الأداء والوقف وما إلى ذلك.
Beyond recognizing outstanding talent, this competition aims at cultivating a more profound appreciation for the Holy Quran and its message, particularly among young generation.
That was it for today's news. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.